George Galloway has revealed huge concerns over a post-Brexit trade deal between the UK and European Union, warning two prominent countries in the bloc are looking to exploit British fishing waters. Britain and the European Union continue to be locked in crunch Brexit talks over what their future trading relationship will look like when the UK leaves the bloc at the end of the transition period on the 31st of December. The two sides will come head to head at the European Council summit in Brussels on next Thursday, by which time Boris Johnson has said he wants the principles of a deal in place. Significant progress in negotiations has been made over the past couple of weeks, but major gaps remain on several crucial red lines, one of which is fisheries. Britain, which has long been seen to hold the upper hand in fisheries talks, is looking to reduce the access EU vessels can have in UK waters after Brexit. The EU, in turn, wants to stay as close as possible to current quota shares and access rights under the much-hated common fisheries policy. Prime Minister Mr Johnson has said he will do everything possible to protect UK fishermen in a trade deal with Brussels, and has vowed to take back control of our waters following the UK's departure from the bloc on the 1st of January 2021. Former Labour MP Mr Galloway, who also recently formed political campaign group Alliance for Unity, believes a post-Brexit trade deal will be agreed between the UK and EU. But he is fearful over the outcome in negotiations on fisheries, adding taking back control is a really big issue for Scottish fishermen. He also sent a huge warning to France and the Netherlands, accusing them using huge fishing super trawlers to empty our waters. Mr Galloway told, "I think a deal will be done, but I'm also very worried about some aspects of that deal, particularly overfishing. It has constantly been said that fishing isn't all that significant for our economy, in which case, why is it so significant for France and the Netherlands? If it is insignificant, why is it a sticking point for them? That means it must be significant. I have worries about the deal, but I do think a deal will be done, and I have said so right from the beginning. Even when relations were at their coldest between the British government and EU, in the middle of a pandemic, and when all governments are going into a recession or worse, it just seems to be inherently unlikely that they would willfully, for political reasons, cut off their nose to spite their face. But taking back control obviously meant taking back control of all our affairs, including in the waters around our fantastic coastline. In Scotland, this is a really big issue. France and the Netherlands are using super trawlers to empty our waters, and this simply cannot be allowed to continue through any deal." Mr Galloway also lashed out at the unelected, unaccountable bureaucracy in Brussels during trade talks, urging the UK to stand up to the EU, as that is what Brexiteers voted for. But he also sent a huge warning to Mr Johnson over any plans to sell out Britain's coastal communities and said such a move would not be forgotten by UK voters. Mr Galloway said, "If there is a deal, it will need to be congratulated, but if it is a bad deal, it will need to be condemned. The main problem in the negotiations has not been the British government, but the unelected, unaccountable bureaucracy in Brussels. We must stand up to them, and that is what the British people voted for when they voted for Brexit. It will not be a final settlement if there is any sellout by Boris Johnson of Britain's coastal communities. The agitation around that will not stop, and it will cost the Conservatives dearly around the coastal communities."